Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, wherever you're watching me from. I hope you're having a wonderful week. All right, this afternoon, I will need you to share this video and I want to take you through this review by Simon Hepa on Nigeria Attorney General Malami. Malami. In this video, he finished the man, the king himself, he finished that man. So I just want you to check out this review that he did on Malami based on him coming on a national TV to talk about the election and security and everything that is going to go on in in Biafra land, everything that's going to go on in the southeast as the man come out to give an update on how they're going to impose state of emergency in that region. So, and Simon Hepper has come out to do a review on this particular video and he points out some points and all that. I need you to watch, I need you to share this video. Let everybody see, let everybody watch it. How the king himself, how he analyzed the video. And hey, watch.
We are going to look into the Constitution of Nigeria. Malami, you said that Malami is Attorney General of the Federation. And we are going to now bring you the Constitution of Nigeria. What did the Constitution say about state of emergency? We are going to bring you Section 45 of the Nigeria Constitution 1999 as amended. What this Section 45 is telling you is addressing the state of emergency. And what is the state of emergency? Once state of emergency is imposed, it means that everything is grounded. Every democratic right, every right you have to free movement is grounded during the time of the state of emergency. And we have come this evening to make it very clear that no election will take place in Biafra land, starting from Anambra. And I have come to also educate you on why on why we must not allow the election to take place in Biafra land. Because not us allowing it, but the declaration of state of emergency, or even the current military invasion of Biafra land, is a pre-state of emergency. And with the exercise lasting for as long as 3 months, we are already in a pre-state of emergency situation in Anambra State and in the entire eastern region. On that note, on that pre-state of emergency note, where our land has been militarized, we therefore continue to maintain that no election will take place in Biafra land starting from Anambra State. You don't have election in a militarized zone. You don't have election in a place where you have military intimidation, harassment, and all that. We are going to use this particular election to set example to Nigeria. And we are going to make sure that the agreement between Anambra and Nigeria is not renewed coming this November. Now, let us watch what Malami did. I want you people to understand, after showing you the video of this Malami, we are going to visit the Constitution of Nigeria and what does the Constitution say.
When our national security is attacked and the sanctity of our constitutionally guaranteed democracy is threatened, no possibility is ruled out. As a government, we have a responsibility to ensure the sustenance of our democratic order. As a government, we have a responsibility to provide security to lives and properties. So within the context of these constitutional obligations of the government and the desire to establish democratic norms and order, there is no possibility that is outruled. The government will certainly do the needful in terms of ensuring that our elections are held in Anambra, in terms of ensuring necessary security is provided.
You see, this is where the problem comes from. This man is telling you they are going to do everything to see that election take place in Anambra under state of emergency. It is not ruled out. That is where I question where they go to school. How can somebody be talking about state of emergency to now exercise a democratic right? Eh? This is where I questioned where this man went to school. Because you cannot be talking about a threat that is the state of emergency cannot be ruled out if you understand the meaning of state of emergency. You cannot be imposing state of emergency to carry out a democratic process in Anambra State. That is why I maintain that election will not hold in Biafra land, starting from Anambra. Because the state of emergency, if they want to impose it, let them impose it. Where did he go to school? Why will he be threatening state of emergency to carry out a democratic right? So is he saying that state of emergency will be imposed and then from the state of emergency, they will now have the election in Anambra? Because state of emergency will restore peace, according to him. Let me tell you, when you have state of emergency, it means that every democratic right, you have taken it away from the citizen. That is what it means. And the Nigeria Constitution also, which we know they don't know this man don't know the Nigeria Constitution. I must be very, very sincere with you. This man don't know the Nigeria Constitution. Because Nigeria Constitution have laid it down, some right, starting from section 35 or so, from section 35, if I'm not mistaken, from section 35 of Nigeria Constitution down to section 40 to section 41, if I'm not mistaken, have outlined right of the citizens. So when you impose the state of emergency, or when you declare the state of emergency in a state, that this right now and other right you have already taken away from the citizens. So how can you now be talking about, two conflicting things at the same time? State of emergency to have election in Anambra State. I don't know where he went to school, but this is the worst I have had, that somebody is trying to conduct election with state of emergency as a solution. Now let me tell you that this insecurity you see today, is being sponsored by the same people. But because of they don't regard the law, because they don't know the Constitution and all that. He's just Attorney General, when you have sound senior advocate of Nigeria everywhere, scattered all over southern Nigeria, they can't choose somebody who is very competent and who is sound with constitutional laws and all that. They don't know that. Now, I challenge anybody in Nigeria, both all their legal luminary and everybody, I challenge them to come and tell me, how will somebody who is Attorney General be issuing threat of state of emergency to conduct election? Have you ever heard anything about that anywhere? I'm going to also show you in Nigeria Constitution. I'm not just making it up on my own. I'm going to show you these things in Nigeria Constitution, and I will make it very snappy. So let us listen to him till the end.
And in terms of ensuring protection is accorded to lives and properties. So what I'm saying in essence, no possibility is outruled by government in terms of ensuring the sanctity of our democratic order, in terms of ensuring that our elections in Anambra holds, and you cannot out all possibilities inclusive of the possibility of declaration of state of emergency.
Look at what Attorney General is speaking.
In essence, that there is failure on the part of the state government to ensure the sanctity of security of lives, properties, and democratic order. So our position as a government is these elections are going to hold, and necessary security in terms of democratic order must certainly prevail for the purpose of this election. So we are resolved to have the election. The elections are going to hold, and no possibilities are ruled out in terms of ensuring the provision of security for the purpose of the conduct of the election as far as Anambra is concerned.
Look at the count and join English. It's not even about the English. It's not, just listening to count and join English. Even, oh my God. And he said nothing is ruled out, including state of emergency is not ruled out. And is your attorney general, a whole attorney general of a federation, speaking these jargons that state of emergency is not ruled out. To be able to protect the democratic, for people to carry out their democratic right, they want to impose state of emergency. This is how they have they have misinterpreted. I said, this is how they have misinterpreted everything in Nigeria. They talk, if they write A, they say a B. How can attorney general, how can you 200 million people in Nigeria that have professors of law that are sound, not just sound though, not just sound, people that have brain, that their brain are, their brain is like fire working, is having this non-entity, this buffoon, this itiboribo as attorney general, who don't know what is state of emergency, who cannot define state of emergency. I want to bring to you, let us visit the Constitution of Nigeria. What did the Constitution say? This is the 1999 Constitution as amended. So we are going to go to section 45 of the 1999 Constitution as amended to know what is going on. 1999 Constitution, section 45, as amended. Right. Section 45. What did section 45 say? Section 45 of the 1999 Constitution as amended talked about restriction. See it here. Restriction from fundamental human right. So when you are talking about state of emergency, you are taking this right in this 45 away from the citizens of Nigeria. You are also taking this fundamental right here, the entire chapter 5 or so, you are taking this from 33, not from 33, but from 34. No, from 35, I think. You are taking from 35 down to up to 41. You see, you are taking if you invoke the state of emergency, you are taking from 35 to 31 to 41 away from Nigerians. So if you take this right away from Nigeria, automatically you are also taking the right to vote, the right to conduct election. Every democratic right has been taken away from Nigeria. So why would this man be threatening Anambra State with state of emergency? Because he didn't go to school. He didn't go to school. Forget that he's Attorney General of Nigeria. He didn't go to school. And if he's actually claiming he go to school, we need to see what he did during his study. We need to see his credentials and his activities in school, because this has confirmed that he didn't go to school. And, of course, because he's able to defend himself and express himself on television does not mean that he actually went to school. So these are the people that passed, that went through the school of Nigeria with Umbo, bullet. They pack all their body, and the Islamic teachers, we always give them eye. You can write, answer the answer, no problem. Nobody will come for you. So let us look at 45. Section 45, and remember that the president have the right to give the state of emergency by invoking section 305 or 304, if I'm not mistaken. I think from section 304, 305. Now, look at the section 45 here. Section 45 is the state of emergency, which also deal with, even here, they claim that from this 37. So which means they are not even considering 35 and 36 in this state of emergency, which is another issue to argue about. So this constitution is written that they start from 37, but actually, when you look at the 37, when you look at the 35 and 36, you find out that it falls under this state of emergency, under the right that is taken away from Nigerians under the state of emergency. But they did not put it here. I don't know why. Let us go back, because I want everybody to understand so that they will not say, you know, Simon Ekpa is doing this and doing that. So let us go to 35 for you to understand that this constitution, the way they wrote it, probably a Fulani man edited it. But let me show you here. When you go to this constitution, you see the fundamental right to personal liberty. Right to personal liberty was removed. This right to personal liberty, you cannot say you have right to personal liberty when a state of emergency is imposed and you can't move with your liberty. And you can, so the liberty here is that you are in your house. So they interpreted liberty meaning that you are in your house and then you can stay in your compound and don't come out. This is not liberty. Liberty is not, we know that there is something they call the freedom of movement and all that. But when you talk about liberty, you mean total liberty. Total liberty to move out of your street. Total liberty. Moving out of your street is not free movement. That is one thing here. They don't understand English. When you say freedom of movement, is not coming out of your street. Freedom of movement goes beyond coming out of your street. Freedom of movement means that you cannot move from one place to another, or you can move from one place to another. So the thing, this particular liberty here, they remove it. I don't know whether they understand whether liberty is only when you are in police cell. When they put you to police cell, they have deprived your liberty. This is not the interpretation of this liberty here. Then number 36, they remove it also. They say right to fair hearing. Okay. Now, how can you have right to fair hearing when a state of emergency is declared? If a state of emergency is declared, you don't even go to court. Okay? If there is a state of emergency, court will not even function, except if the state of emergency is not a state of emergency. When you say state of emergency, it means everything is grounded. You don't want to see people at that particular time. You don't want to see, I don't know, well, if they want to declare state of emergency, say maybe a particular time is given and all that. It's a different thing. But when you talk about complete state of emergency, court does not function. Okay? Court does not function. In order to restore whatever peace they think they want to restore, court, you don't have fair hearing, right to fair hearing. You can't have right to fair hearing in a state of emergency because the court doesn't function. So it means that every right here is taken away from the citizens. Now, of course, that's another thing to argue about for those who want to argue on constitutional, those who say they are constitutional lawyers and all that. But anyway, let us go straight to 45. The 45, the problem of Nigeria has always been interpretation. They don't know, they have law, they can't interpret it. Now, the 45 say, here is the 45. When this emergency is imposed, is declared, it means nothing in section 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41 of this constitution shall invalidate any law that is reasonably justifiable in a democratic society. In the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, or public health, or for the purpose of protecting the rights and the freedom of freedom or other persons. In the act of the National Assembly shall not be invalidated by reason only that it provide for the taking during period of emergency of measures that derogate from the provision of the section 33, 35 of this constitution, but no such measure shall be taken in pursuance of any such act during period of emergency, save to the extent that those measures are reasonable, justifiable for the purpose of dealing with the situation that exists during the period of emergency. Okay? Now, provided that nothing in this section shall authorize any derogation from the provision of Section 33 of this Constitution, except in respect of death resulting from act of war, or authorize any derogation from the provision of Section 36(8) of the Constitution. In this section, a period of emergency means any period during which there is in force a proclamation of a state of emergency declared by the president in exercise of the power conferred on him under Section 305 of this Constitution. Have you seen it? So, in essence, there are all this whole right is like they suspend the right of the people. Now, when you suspend the right of the people, why would you then want to talk about a democratic process taking place in a state where you have declared state of emergency? You see, we need to know where they go to school. We need to know how they pass their law school. We need to know, what kind of, whether there is any critical thinking, how they were able to develop their critical thinking and critical reasoning to become a senior advocate of Nigeria in the first place, and to the extent of becoming the Attorney General. Of course, becoming Attorney General of Nigeria, we know what is behind it. We know it is only to advance the Fulani conquest of Nigeria, so that whatever they do, they don't know it.
Well, my own is just this government, they should apply wisdom. I mean, just apply wisdom. That wisdom you've not been using from the beginning of all this, when all this started. Apply wisdom. And one of the wisdom that you can apply is, instead of doing whatever you guys are doing now, one of the wisdom is to make sure Nnamdi Kanu is okay. Release the man, or let him, fair enough. If you want to go to court, proceed in court and all that. Continue, go to court and let him come to the courts. But then, now the people are saying, release him, release Nnamdi Kanu, release Nnamdi Kanu. And I think that is wisdom to ease all this tension going on in the southeast. Release Nnamdi Kanu.